Hey guys, what's going on? FGames here. In today's video, I'm going to do a dungeon starter gear guide for every class. I'll propose a cheaper and a more expensive setup. If this video helps you, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll start the guide. The first class I'm going to talk about is the Archer class. The Archer is responsible for doing damage. Because of this, you need high crit damage and strength. If you don't want to spend much money, get the full Skeleton Grunt armor or the Skeleton Soldier armor. The Skeleton Soldier armor requires Catacombs 9. For the weapon, I suggest the Machine Gun Bow. You can get the Skeleton Soldier armor as a mob drop from Skeleton Soldiers, and the Skeleton Grunt armor as a drop from Skeleton Grunts. Just do some floor 1 runs and you'll most likely get this armor drop. For the more expensive setup, I recommend Unstable Dragon armor with a Rune-on bow, or if you have some extra money, the Spirit Bow. You can craft the Rune-on bow once you have Bone Collection 9. You can also buy any of these items from the auction if you would rather do that. Now onto the Berserk class. Like the Archer, the Berserker is responsible for doing mass amounts of damage. For the more inexpensive setup of the Berserk, I recommend the full Zombie Soldier armor, an epic or legendary rarity. The epic rarity of this set is cheaper, not as good, and the legendary one is more expensive but better. This armor requires Catacombs 9, just like the Skeleton Soldier armor. For the weapon, I recommend the Zombie Soldier Cutlass. This weapon requires Catacombs level 5. The Zombie Soldier armor and Cutlass are dropped from Zombie Soldiers and can be bought off the auction. For the more pricey setup, get full Adaptive armor and Adaptive blade. The Adaptive set requires 4-3 completion, so just complete this dungeon once to unlock the Adaptive blade and armor. You can get this set inside 4-3 dungeon chests or off the auction. If you have an Ask to the Dragons, you can use that instead of the Zombie Soldier Cutlass or Adaptive blade. Be sure to turn it into a dungeon item though, for that extra stat boost in dungeons. An even more expensive option, but a great one, is full Strong Dragon armor and a Flower of Truth. This comes out to around 7.5 million coins, so it is quite pricey, but you'll be able to dominate the early game floors. The next class I'll talk about is the Tank. The Tank is supposed to be, well, a tank and not die. They're also supposed to take hits for their teammates when they're in danger. Because of this, defense is a very important stat in a tank setup. An extremely cheap but great tank setup is Heavy armor with a Golem sword or a Zombie Soldier Cutlass. You can get the Heavy armor from killing heavy zombies or buying it off the auction. The Golem sword can be crafted once you reach Iron Collection 8 with 2 enchanted iron blocks and a stick. And, as I already mentioned, you can get the Zombie Soldier Cutlass from killing zombie soldiers. The more expensive setup is Full Protector Dragon or Old Dragon armor with the Adaptive blade. As previously mentioned, the Adaptive blade requires 4-3 completion. We're now onto the Healer. The Healer is different from most classes, as it usually protects teammates rather than killing mobs. That doesn't mean that a healer shouldn't be able to do lots of damage. An offensive healer isn't a bad thing. Get the Roshan armor with a Mender helmet and a Zombie Soldier Cutlass for the cheaper setup. For the more expensive setup, get either full Holy Dragon armor or a different type of dragon armor that's not holy with the Mender helmet. If you want to be an offensive healer, get Stronger and Stable. If you want to be a more tanky healer, then get Protector or Old. Just make sure to pair this with the Mender helmet. For a weapon, get the Fell Sword. It does a decent amount of damage and its abilities are great for healers. The only class remaining now to talk about is the Mage. A cheap option used by many is the Zombie Soldier armor with Dark Goggles and the Dreadlord sword. Like I already mentioned, the Zombie Soldier armor is dropped from zombie soldiers in dungeons. The Dreadlord sword is dropped from Crypt Dreadlords. To get these, do some floor 1 runs. These are common drops, so it won't take much time. Just like always, you can buy these items off the auction. There's another very good setup for early game mages, but it is quite a bit more expensive. It is the full Wise Dragon armor and the Bonzo staff. The Bonzo staff can be found inside floor 1 dungeon chests or can be bought off the auction. Either of these setups will work in the early floors. Real quickly, I'm going to talk about the pets you can use for the different classes. These are optional but recommended, as they can give you a significant stat boost. For the Archer, get the Epic Skeleton. For the Berserker, get either the Lion, Tiger, or Wither Skeleton. For both the Tank and Healer, a rare or epic blue whale pet is great. For the Mage, get an epic sheep pet. Like I said, these are optional, but if you have any extra coins, get one of these. They make a big difference. Well, that's the end of the video. This took me so long to make, so if it helped you, be sure to like and subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye!